a lot for us all to give a thought, but without much ado, I would like us to proceed to the first panel at Dakshin Summit 2024, Dakshin Healthcare Summit 2024, ladies and gentlemen. On the first panel today, we would like to share some secrets. Some secrets are best when it is shared with most people. A topic that keeps us focused on life and lifestyle. The secrets of longevity, unraveling the science. And to throw light on the subject, we have a dazzling panel of experts. It's our pleasure today to have amongst us Padma Shri Dr. Arvinder Singh Soin, surgeon, scientist, innovator, health tech entrepreneur, and investor. He's the group chairman and chief surgeon at Medanta Institute of Liver Transplantation and Regenerative Medicine in India. Joining him in the panel today are Mr. Prashant Prakash, managing partner and founder of SL India. Dr. Vritti Lumba, she wants to live 100, because I saw her hand go up when Dr. Sangeeta Reddy asked. Dr. Vritti Lumba is program head, Fortis Cancer Hospital at Fortis Healthcare. Dr. Manveer Bhatia, director and founder at Neurology and Sleep Center, New Delhi. Dr. Umair Khadir is joining us all the way from London. He is clinical process lead physician at Hook. Dr. Deepak Saini, professor of Department of Developmental Biology and Genetics, convener, Longevity Institute at Indian Institute of Science. And Mr. Saurabh Khusrushahi, founder of SOFIT. I would like to hand over this panel to Dr. Arvinder Soin, who will be moderating this panel. I request all the panelists to please take their seats on the dais.
I'll just coordinate that. This is the date of the presentation. Okay, I'll just coordinate.
So I can sit there and do it, right?
Yes, we can sit there.
Yeah. And I'll see the slides there. Cool. And where will the rest of the crowd be? Okay. Are we getting in the way?
No, that should be fine. It's up to them.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, because of course, you'll agree that it was a brilliant speech, and I was just telling her that research and innovation at the Apollo Hospitals group is in safe and competent hands. She really set the pace and the vibe for the rest of the deliberations today. Thank you all for joining us. Before we get started on the panel discussion, I'd like to thank Mr. Vasu Gandikota, Mr. Krishna, South First and TV9 for putting this futuristic health summit together. So, in the panel, we will hopefully take you all for an amazing ride in the next hour or so. A ride at the end of which you will all emerge thinking that you should have raised your hands when Dr. Sangeeta Reddy asked you whether you live 100 years, because you can. And we'll try and show you with the longevity champions here how you can actually do that. The overriding theme for today's panel discussion will be, how do you see yourself in 2050? Right? Now, I mean, if we all shift the focus of healthcare from sick care in hospitals to making sure that everyone's well and remains healthy as possible, if we actually start dedicated centers to wellness, positive health and longevity, because that is definitely the need of the hour, because we find that in tertiary care, quaternary care hospitals, you have preventive medicine in one little floor or one little corner of the hospital, and the rest of the hospital is all geared to managing critical patients and doing procedures, etc. So the focus does have to shift from sick care to positive health and care in a way that keeps people healthy. And if you actually aim, because you have to aim to be healthy in 20, 25 years from now, then you can get there easily, and we'll try and show you how. So, look at these guys. We don't have to dim the lights. I think the lights can be fully on. I don't think you can get the music, but you get the idea, right? So we all want to be, that's okay, you can tone down the music. So we all want to be disease-free, we want to be strong, we want to be happy at the end of 25 years from now, and even beyond. And we'll try and show you how you can actually do that. So currently what happens is that, let's say, none of us believe that we'll live 100, but we do believe that we'll probably live, people in this room and those online will probably live about 80 years, 78 to 80 years, right? But what happens is that if you're totally healthy at 100% and let's say at 20 or 30 years of age, health starts to decline. And compared to what you were at 25 or 30, you're only half of you left in terms of being healthy by the time you're 65. But if you actually get into predictive and preventive medicine and then personalized interventions both by human experts and AI-aided advice are followed, then this curve can actually lift up and give us 15 more years of life, because lifespan is the number of years you live, and 20 years more of good health. And health span is the number of years that you remain healthy. So this curve will actually become like that instead of like that. Now, the math is simple. We actually have the science today to make this happen. And I'll just show you how. 25% of us will die from an MI, heart attack. And in fact, 25% of the first heart attacks are killers. So that's the only heart attack some of us will have, right? But the thing is that 90% of heart attacks are preventable. 10% of us will die from cancer, and these are Indian figures. We've actually searched all papers and resources, and these are Indian figures, right? So 10% will die from cancer, 50% of it is preventable, 10% will die from a brain stroke, 80% preventable. Dr. Manveer Bhatia here, who's a neurologist and sleep medicine expert, tells me that 8% of Indians more than 60 have dementia, and 70% of them will actually die from it. It's not just memory lapses, it's a killer. And nearly half of them are preventable. 20% of Indians die from respiratory disease, 70% preventable. 5% die from diabetes directly and its complications. 90% deaths are preventable. 4% liver disease, 90% preventable. 3% kidney disease, again 90% preventable. So, there you have. If we actually prevent or diagnose early all the diseases that kill us, naturally you'll live 15, 20 years longer and healthier. I mean, it's just very simple. And the science exists today, and that's what we're going to discuss in the next 60 minutes. So now, Riti Lumba, who takes care of the Fortis Cancer Institutes across the country and is very interested in preventive and predictive healthcare as applied to oncology, do you want to tell us how you can actually detect disease early or even predict disease before it actually happens? What sort of diagnostics you use specifically in relation to the 4 or 5 killer diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and neurovascular disease and neurodegenerative disorders. So take us through the diagnostics, basics, and advanced that help us diagnose these things in a way that we can predict disease and detect early disease. You can just talk from there, because I'm going to come there and now I'm going to keep sitting there.